All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Chris's Sports Corner. Real quick, man, I hope everybody's having an amazing Saturday. I know I am. I got off to a good start, got up, went to the gym, got a little workout in safely. Love the way that Gold Gyms have that set up to be as safe as possible and hand sanitizer and everything everywhere. So they're doing their part just like many other businesses. So thanks, everyone. Again for helping me reach that milestone of 2,000 subscribers. So salute to you guys again. I really appreciate you. But I want to talk about Jamal Adams. Now we know he came out officially requested a trade and all of these things and you know from first glimpse you're like, yo, you know, any team that can get him, he can help. But as you sit back, like I think. I just got a question. Are we buying the hype or the skill? And the reason why I say that is when you stop and you look back on it, you go, well, hold on. Let's look at history a little bit. Like a lot of times, like when a player comes from a team that was not that good, like the Jets wasn't that good, even though they beat us, whatever. It is we lost. They beat us. It's just what it is. Ain't no excuses being made. That is what it is. But we look at a player that come from a team that's not that good, and you go, well, let's look at history a little bit, you know, because we've seen this happen before. So let's go back. Let's look at Philly fans be familiar with this guy, Nnamdi Asomugha. I hope I'm pronouncing the name highly. I mean, every team was trying to get him. He was looking like an all-world cornerback coming out of Oakland. Oakland wasn't that good of a team. Wasn't that good a team. So you're like, oh man, this is gonna be the, you know, that secondary at the time was looking like amazing. I mean, as a Cowboy fan, I was like, I don't know what we're gonna do with that secondary. That secondary is a beast. And then he got on the field and he started to play. And realized he wasn't that good. You go, okay, he wasn't that good. I don't get it. He lasted 1 year, then ended up going to San Francisco to be like a nickel corner or something, and then he haven't had a job since. But at the time, he was really, really hyped. So let's look a little further. Brandon Carr, Dallas Cowboys get him from Kansas City. Mr. Reliable. That's the one thing I would say about Brandon Carr. He was definitely reliable. He rarely got hurt, but he wasn't really the impact player the Cowboys was expecting, right? Brandon Carr, you know, he got nicknames from like Used Carr, and he was definitely on the butt end of some jokes as well as some outstanding catches by Odell Beckham Jr. So you go and you say, all right, that didn't work out. Then he moves on to the Baltimore Ravens. I guess he was solid there, you know. But he was nothing to write home about, in my opinion. I think he was solid, but the hype that was originally created around him was that he was this big thing coming out of Kansas City. And at the time, Kansas City defense wasn't that good. At the time, their defense wasn't that good. And then you say to the point that the Cowboys, even with Brandon Carr, had to draft Mo Claiborne, who was another guy that, you know, I was kind of excited about, but he just could not stay healthy to a point that, you know, he was just getting weird injuries. Like one time he had a groin injury where just for no reason the meat on his leg separated from his bone. It was just one of those icky injuries. And I thought that last year before he got hurt with the Cowboys, he was definitely having his best season as a Cowboy, but that's neither here nor there. But I say all this to say, maybe we need to slow down on the hype on Jamal Adams, because it's not like he's made his team that much better. It's not like he's this dominant pass defender either. He's a round the ball guy. He can create some turnovers, but I think he might be. You know, correct me if I'm wrong, but he might be benefiting from the fact that he's on a bad team. Don't get me wrong, I still think he's a good player. I think he got the potential to be a great player. But when you start to look at, you know, all the hype right now about him, you go, wait a minute, hold on, I ain't seen that much. Maybe And first of all, let me say, I'm guilty just like everyone else. I bought the hype. I'm like, yeah. Even, but then you stop and you say, hold on, you know, I got an obligation for this YouTube channel to do my research. And then you go, I mean, he's good, but I don't know if he's all world like he's been propped up to be. I hope he turns out, because I want the best for every athlete. I hope he turns out to be as good as advertised. But you know, kind of saying let's hold off. And another thing that scared me right now is, you know, he's with the Jets. He got 2 years left on his contract, and they can franchise tag. So that's a total of 3 years. The Jets don't have to do anything, and they don't have to do anything. But I will say this: the fact that he's causing such a ruckus right now behind wanting a new contract, wanting to be paid like the highest safety in the NFL, it makes you go, what happens if your team sign him and he goes on to be that good? 2 years into the new contract, he gonna want a new contract. You know, 2 or 3 years into that deal, he can be like, hey, I'm better than this deal now. Look at the money. I want more money. And to me, I think the best thing for him is to tone it down a little bit, and because he's going, as you watch, the tide is starting to turn. Like, he's going from the Jets, you know, wanting out or wanting a new deal. They don't want it to, like, okay, guys, you keep pressing this button, like to the point where he don't want to ruin his name. But yeah, sometimes I mean, just to take it to, we can even look at the NBA. LaMarcus Aldridge is a great power forward. I mean, good or great power forward. But in Portland, he was all world. You know, Kevin Love, he good. But when he was in Minnesota, round nothing, he was the man, you know. And we can go on and on and on and on about that. But sometimes when a person, you got to look at the system and where he come from. Looking at Jamal Adams coming from New York, that team wasn't that good. So you say, maybe he's surrounded by lesser talent, so it's making him look better than what he is. So that could be a case, you know. I'm not saying it is, but that could be the case because, you know, we don't know. But I think we may have to slow down a little bit on the Jamal Adams talk. I know for me, because I sat back and watched some film. I'm like, yeah, he's around the ball, but I didn't see him like just change games, right? To just take over. Like, for example, Earl Thomas has the ability to take over a game. You look at his last year with Seattle, when he played the Dallas Cowboys, he was on a mission. He was trying to show you something. He's changed the complexity of that game. You know, I'm gonna be honest. I would rather Earl Thomas over Jamal Adams. You know, minus the I don't look. I'm talking pure sports. I don't want to talk about none of that off the field stuff. Pure sports. I think I still would prefer Earl Thomas over Jamal Adams, because I think Earl Thomas has the ability to affect the game. You know, he recently compared himself to Ed Reed. That's a stretch. I think Ed Reed, you got a few of those great safeties. You got Ed Reed, who else? Ronnie Lott. You had Troy Polamalu. What's the guy? I think is not the Reed that used to play in Kansas City, not the one that was playing for the Carolina Panthers, but that Reed, he was pretty good. So you got other players, other safeties out there that, you know, they affected games. Obviously, we see Jamal Adams don't really affect games. I think he's a benefit of being in a situation where he's not, you know, he's maybe the best talent on his defense. And that's, you know, some people may argue that. I don't follow it just enough to argue that. But from what I see, he may be the best talent on defense. And when he get a lot of media attention because he's pretty much the only thing the Jets can talk about, because Le'Veon Bell wasn't quite there this year. Now, maybe he'll have a good year next year. Who knows? Sam Darnold still rounding out, in my opinion, even though I think he's their future. He's still rounding out. But Jamal Adams, because of his big personality, he's definitely drawing most of the attention. But we have to be careful when we're egging on grabbing these players, especially For Cowboys, I know we've been burnt so many times on taking these big players and making these big deals and don't get nothing. I mean, we can go down this list forever. I mean, you got Brandon Carr. Oh, my God. I don't remember the Roy Williams trade. Oh, my God. that didn't work out at all. So that's another one that you like, it wasn't as good as he was advertised. But with that being said, guys, just let me know what you guys think, man. Do we need to slow down on the Jamal Adams talk? Because I don't know. I'm up in the air about him. Even though I'm not saying if the Cowboys get him, I'm not going to be happy that we got him. But I don't know. Because when you sit down, you really pay attention. He might not be all that's advertised. That's all I'm saying. With that being said, guys, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you guys' support. Thank you for everything that you do for me. I promise I won't stop. With that being said, until next time, man, you guys be great.